Welcome to this edition of the 3 and 2 What's He Gonna Do podcast. I'm Dan Zielinski of the thirdmanin.com, joined with Collin Kannenberg of statswipe.com. We're both live in person today doing the podcast. I'm back in Wisconsin on vacation, so we thought we'd do a little podcasting before we do some other things tonight.
Yeah, and happy 4th of July to everyone listening.
Yeah, and Brewers, obviously, All-Star game is coming up quickly. We're going to get into the Brewers talk, also some international signing stuff. But first, just want to talk about Tyler Skaggs, left-handed pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels, died on Monday at the age of 27. Really no details quite out about his death at all, which is kind of strange, but still, regardless, sad situation for the Angels, his family, and baseball. He was a guy who had a 4.41 ERA in between 7 seasons with Arizona and the Angels.
He was a highly touted prospect. I mean, I remember seeing him towards the top of many lists of top prospects. But yeah, he definitely had a lot of potential left in him, and I'm sure the Angels had big plans for him to be one of their main guys in the rotation for years to come.
Yeah, former first-round pick. Angels have always kind of struggled with starting pitching, so it definitely doesn't help them, but obviously that's not the biggest issue here on hand or biggest disappointment or concern.
And you could tell a lot of players really love the guy. I guess here Christian Yelich worked with him in the off season with some foundation or charity or something. I remember hearing him work with some point with him in the off season, and yeah, it's a sad day in baseball, definitely, to lose a guy that young, to lose a good talent and a good person, it sounds. So
yeah, now we're gonna kind of transition into Brewers talk. Obviously, kind of the big news this past week was some roster moves they did. They DFA'd Hernan Perez. They called up Keston Hiura, sent down Travis Shaw, called up Tyler Saladino, who's been playing quite a bit of shortstop in place of Orlando Arcia. So I don't know if they're sending a message to Arcia or just not happy with his play. But either way, Keston Hiura's up as well as Tyler Saladino. So kind of interesting. I'm surprised at the timing of sending Shaw down. I think it was overdue, but I thought they would give him at least to the All-Star break, so another week or so to kind of see what he can do.
yeah, and the fact that people were on their case for, I guess, when Shaw came off the DL and sending Hiura down, people were all mad with that move. I think the Brewers did a good job with at least giving him the respect of giving him another chance after coming back from the DL, seeing if something would change, and obviously nothing did. He still struggled. He had a home run or two, but Keston was just doing so well in the minors. They had no choice but to shake things up, especially in the fact they were losing 10 of 15. So
What do you think about Hernan Perez getting DFA'd? I know a lot of people liked him, but I think it's more they liked him because he could play all 9 positions, and you'd see him pitch in blowouts, and he'd kind of have some funky mannerisms on the mound. But a guy who's hitting .235 this year, 42 strikeouts to 9 walks, and career hitter .254. I mean, I think he's a replaceable player.
he is. I guess no one saw him on the chopping block really. He is versatile. Him and Saladino are the same player. I mean, let's be honest, they're exactly the same. And Hernan was struggling. Saladino was doing well in AAA, and I guess you're looking for any sort of production you can find. That's kind of the move you have to do. And you hate to see, a lot of people like Hernan, namely my mom. Shout out if she's listening. She did not like the news when I told her that Hernan was being sent down, or getting DFA'd. But yeah, it was good to shake things up. I don't mind the move.
Well, and Hernan obviously could play all 9 positions, but they really didn't need another guy who could play the outfield. So really, like you said, they're pretty much the same player career-wise. Obviously, Saladino hasn't played as much in the major leagues throughout his career. Career numbers aren't as, I don't want to say as great. He's only hitting .230 in his career, but it's also kind of a limited sample size since 2017 when he was with the White Sox and getting 300 at bats per year. So, I mean, at this rate, it's a team that was needing some new energy, and I think they had to make some sort of move.
They did. It came down to you have to do something at that point, and it was obvious to bring Keston up. So hopefully, hasn't done much since coming up, but hopefully work his way into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be curious to see. I think I mentioned this on a previous podcast, what kind of hitter he is in the major leagues. He's a guy who could hit for a high average and be kind of one of the top batting average leaders in baseball, or he's a guy who can hit 30 home runs and maybe sacrifice a little average. So I'll be kind of curious to see what hitter he turns out to be in the major leagues.
Yeah, and last night he went 2 for 5 with a homer and 2 runs. Yeah. So we'll see. He's a guy who I think we can expect might get hot, and hopefully take off, be big in this race. I made a bet with a guy at work who claims that Addison Russell was gonna perform Keston in terms of WAR. Well, I submitted the bet, I guess, because I thought, hey, I think Keston is better than this bust Addison Russell.
Yeah.
And I'll put my money where my mouth is this year and go with that. So.
No, I think that was a good bet. I mean, that's better odds than you're gonna get at Pato.
Yeah.
So might as well go for it. Not too much money on the line.
Exactly.
I also wanted to talk about Adrian Hauser. He started the last 2 games, and pitched, 5 innings, both starts. Allowed 3 earned runs in both starts. 6. Oh shoot. He made one. He made 2 starts.
Yeah.
He made 2 starts. I'm looking at they have the. Okay. Also, I want to talk about Adrian Hauser. He's started the last 2 games. His first start came last week against Seattle. He only went 2 innings, allowed 3 runs. Came back the other day against Cincinnati. Went 5 innings, allowed 3 earned runs. Didn't have a lot of success against Seattle. I think they also kind of wanted to just limit his pitches a little bit, but still 3 and 2 innings isn't that great. So what did you think of his first 2 starts?
Yeah, disappointing considering how he was doing in the bullpen before going into the starting rotation. I haven't seen what exactly he was throwing or how he was throwing. I was not able to watch the games, but yeah, may as well have tried him in there. Chase Anderson though pitched a good one last week, and I know he's pitching as we're recording this tonight. So yeah, you continue to have to go through the guys and see who's gonna break out, who's gonna get hot.
Would you keep him in the starting rotation at this point? I think I would at least give him 3 more starts, and if he's not 2 or 3 more starts, and if he still kind of struggles. But if he's giving you 5 innings, 3 runs, it's pretty much a quality start. If he can do that, with the offense the Brewers have, there's no reason why they shouldn't score at least 3-4 runs a game.
And I think that was the game where, or one of the games where Freddie Peralta came in and pitched really well, and a lot of people were saying, well, did Freddie just earn his spot back in the rotation? So that's the problem with the Brewers. You have all these pitchers who, well, they could, they're so off and on. I think Hauser and all these Woodruff's been a bit more consistent.
What do you think about Davies? I mean, before his start against Pittsburgh here about a week ago now, when he allowed 1 earned run in 5 1/3 innings, he allowed 9 earned runs in 6 2/3 against San Diego and Seattle, 2 teams that San Diego's better, Seattle's not very good at all. So 2 bad starts followed up by now a solid start. Is he a guy that you think is going to kind of be more of that 3, 4, 5 run, 5 or 6 inning type pitcher? Or do you think he's more of a low 3s type starting pitcher?
See, his changeup that he was throwing more was kind of helping him out. So I don't know if hitters have kind of adjusted to what he's been throwing this year because he changed a lot of things up. That's what I'd be curious to see. But no, I think he is a number 3. I've always thought that he would be somewhat of a number 3. But again, it comes down to consistency. All of these pitchers have been both off and on throughout the season.
Yeah.
And Davies was that hopeful when he began so hot, like, oh, this could be the guy who is the consistent one, but hasn't really been that for the last few starts.
Yeah. I think you have it pulled up, but International Signing Day started today. Brewers, I know, got a couple of top 30 type players in the international class.
Yeah, they got an outfielder, Medina, who Medina is a guy who he's got a smooth swing. Let's see, he's 6'2", has an easy, majestic swing. Scouts say well above average power and the ability to hit to all fields. Defensively, he has a chance to play center field, but he could outgrow that position and move to a corner outfield spot. Yeah, it looks like a guy with just top-notch potential, and have to see how he develops. They also have been linked to shortstop Albert Caprian.
Close enough.
Yeah,
He's not
something
listening.
like that. For a deal expected to be in the $750,000 range.
Okay. And the deal they signed with Medina from Venezuela was $1.3 million. MLB.com ranks him as the 13th best prospect. The Brewers as a whole, coming into this signing period that started today, were second among teams. Granted, there's a group of teams between signing bonus pool money with just about $6 million. It seems like under David Stearns, they've been a lot more active in the international market. I know, looking at top 30 lists in terms of current prospects they have, you see some guys, 3, 4, or 5 guys on that list that are all international signings. And I think for a small market team like the Brewers, they got to be active, and they also got to hit some home runs in an international signing, because that's the only way you're going to supplement that major league team, really.
Right. No, that's a lot of great players out there. And I was just looking, let's see how Baltimore did this year. Nothing. Well, that makes sense.
Even though they had $6.5 million, just as much as any.
Just throw that into the fire. Baltimore always does.
The thing I think is that the problem is their GM got hired so late in the process. He didn't even fill like front office position, so I wonder how much that affected it, because they're a team that has not scouted or signed international talent ever.
Yeah.
They did sign a couple of guys, it looks like, an outfielder.
None of the top 30. But
None of the top 30. They did sign at least some guys. So when you're signing international players, most of it's pretty much a crapshoot, because even if you're going to get Yoan Moncada, there's numerous guys you can say got that similar type deal that aren't even playing in the majors, like that Castillo guy with the Red Sox. Now, he's in AAA. The one caveat for that is because his contract is so big, the Red Sox are purposely not calling him up, even though he probably could at least be a bench player in the major leagues, because they don't want to go over that tax dollar. So, but just look at the last 5 years of international players, the amount of kind of busts. So it is really a crapshoot, but I think the key is signing guys between $300 or low amounts of money to $1 million, and hoping one or two of them pan out over a 5-10 year stretch, because when you're signing guys who are 18 and under, I don't know,
they're just kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
kids playing against below average baseball talent, or if they're
Right.
even playing, more just doing skills.
And I forgot too until reading all this that the Braves are still banned from this with their scandal a couple years ago. And you have to imagine them looking at Baltimore that just puts no effort into international, and be like, wow, You do nothing. We would just love the chance to do something in the international market, but can't. And I mean, they've had success with Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, I can't think of that Braves GM guy. Oh, John Cantapolo, whatever his name is. Doesn't matter. That guy was like one of the top young rising front office people in baseball, and
now he's done for.
Yeah, he's never gonna be in baseball again. It's just
he's working at McDonald's. Probably.
I never understood why a guy who is so well regarded had to like try to cheat the system when, with the way he was drafting, they were gonna have a competitive team within the next 5 years anyways. You didn't have to go screw the system for international players.
They pretty much pulled Barry Bonds of front office workers.
And they didn't sign anyone. They signed that, I think, Mejia guy who the Angels ended up signing because he got let go by the Braves because it was an illegal signing. And he hasn't done anything in the Angels system.
That was huge. But, I don't know, I guess we'll see it throughout these coming years maybe.
Yeah.
It was seemed like at the time a big penalty, but will it really translate to how they do?
I think
there's so many ways around it. I think it's not even much of a penalty.
I don't think for the Braves it was so much. I mean, they lost some guys, but again, like we just said, signing international players is so difficult to project. You're really hoping you get one or two superstars or contributors at the major league level. I think it was the biggest penalty was obviously the GM getting banned from baseball for life.
Yeah.
So.
This is, it's hard to kind of stop and think about a draft. Look what we're doing, though. We come in, a bunch of wealthy front office execs come into this poor Dominican Republic, Venezuelan town, get these players, and just, I don't know, it seems so almost inhumane to be doing this, where you go into these towns and just for the purpose of American entertainment, going in and grabbing. Granted, these kids love baseball. They must love baseball. They're playing for it and they play for their family. But it is kind of hard to sit back and think like, wow, it's not slavery, but it's kind of along those lines.
I'd like to see a baseball adopt an international draft. Logistically, it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because these guys are all over the country, and are they going to play over here? And just all the logistics are kind of hard with that. But it'd be nice to see if they could find a way to do that, just because then every team has a chance at these players, whereas Yankees signed a bunch of top players, Astros have in the past. I mean, it's just a lot of these bigger market teams or teams that have more resources seem to get the top international players, which doesn't always help, but for a small market team like Miami, Baltimore, Brewers, Royals, it would be kind of nice to see them having even chance at acquiring some of this talent.
And it's good I think they'll have enough money to use on that. And if you look at who signed these top 30 prospects, you don't get a repeat until the Cubs have the 6th best and the Cubs have the 11th best.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, the Yankees got the top guy, then the A's, Rangers, Dodgers, Royals. I mean, you have the Royals and A's in there who each got a top 5 prospect.
The A's usually are pretty active, but it's like, I can't think of an international player they've had on their roster that's been like a superstar. But it seems like they're always like...
Is is he an international?
They got him from the Yankees, though, in that...
oh, yeah, that's true.
Was it the Sonny Gray?
The Sonny Gray one, yeah.
They got a steal in that trade. James Caprillion, who
did.
You can read a story about at thethirdmanin.com, and then Mateo, Fowler, the outfielder. I don't know how he's doing, but I was really high on Caprillion, and that might have been those 3 guys. But still, Sonny Gray didn't even last a full year in New York. Or he lasted a full year, only a year and a half, I think it was. But still, that was a big win for the A's, regardless.
All right. Well, do we have any? We have we have one viewer question.
Yeah.
Asks who if you're starting a team right now, you get one of these guys. Who would you rather have? Bellinger, Yelich, or Josh Bell?
And that was from Kelsey.
Yep, that was
from
Kelsey.
Wauwatosa.
Yep.
Big listener, #1 fan on SoundCloud for our podcast. So,
Yeah. So thank you.
Who do I want? Who was it? Belly? Oh, Bell.
Belly, Yelly, or Bell?
I don't know. I'm not biased, but I see Yelich play a lot more than any of those two guys.
Mhm.
I would say Yelich because I think he's a true 5-tool guy. Bellinger is younger, but he's not as proven. He's had the one good rookie year, kind of a down year his second year.
Mhm.
Now he's had a hot start to his third year. There's not as much known with him as there is Yelly. Even though Bellinger is younger, I still think I would take Yelich at this point because I think Yelich, you can make a case he's right there with Trout. Trout's by far the best player in the game, but Yelich is the closest thing to Trout.
Right, with how he's been performing the last
Yeah.
year. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Bellinger. I'm not sleeping on Bell either. I think he's been breaking out this year, and I think this is kind of who he could be.
No, I agree.
So I'm excited to see where he is. I don't think he's up to what Bellinger and Yelich can provide, but yeah, I think Bellinger. He's just sneaky fast, and the power he has, and I think he has more of a potential to hit more consistently more power than Yelich does. I think Yelich could probably hit better than Bellinger long term, but yeah, I would probably go with Belly.
I want to talk about Bell before we get to my comments on him. What do you think about Yelich being in the home run derby?
I don't mind. The home run derby swing thing's a myth.
I agree. Fans are freaking out about that. I don't think it's a big deal. But for Josh Bell, guy's 26 years old, left-handed hitter. Granted, he's kind of a first baseman, right fielder type player. The guy's been just crushing the ball this year. He's got 25 home runs, 77 RBIs in 82 games, also 29 doubles.
Yeah.
And he's got 3 triples. He's a guy you don't expect to be getting triples, but he's got 3. He had 4 last year, 6 the previous year, and he's hitting 308. I mean, he's quietly having a really, really good year.
And last year the NL was so kind of weak in terms of MVP candidates, and he's now creeping in the race. I mean, you have a legitimate 3 race.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for sure a 2-person race, but Bell is going to be third with how he's been playing.
Who do you give the MVP to right now?
I think Yelly has the better number. I think Yelly.
Yeah. The Brewers are in first place now, so
yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers are the best team in the NL, maybe the best team in baseball talent-wise. But Yelich is just, I think something has to be said for the way he's continued to play after an MVP season, especially last year's second half or final month or two. He's continued to produce, and if he produces anywhere near that this second half of the year, I don't see why he's not going to repeat as MVP.
Yeah, I agree. So the All-Star game is next Tuesday, 6:30. The home run derby is Monday. I don't know what time. Yelich is in it. Bell is in it. Is Belly in? Belly's not in it.
No, it's
Pete Alonso is though.
Josh Bell's in it though, right?
Bell is in it.
Bell's in it. Carlos Santana, Vlad Jr.
Yep.
And did I say Carlos Santana?
You said Yep. You said Carlos. Whatever. I'm picking Yelly to win. The guy just is a winner. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Pete Alonso's. I think he won last year's Futures game home run derby.
Did he? So he might be a nice sleeper pick. Alonso seems like he can hit dingers.
He's been crushing the ball. I thought I don't know. He's a first baseman coming from Florida. Florida guys don't always produce in the majors.
Yeah.
But he has had a really good year. You won the home run derby. Home run award, whatever that means.
Well, then.
I think he won the home run derby I might be wrong, but he was in it, and I know he did well. I'm pretty sure he won it. But still, that's kind of crazy. He's gone from 1 year being in the Futures game, home run derby, to MLB.
Yeah.
And Vlad Jr., I'll be interested to see how he does, because he's got as much strength and power as any guy in baseball.
I think everyone's going to be cheering for him.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think he's the most fun guy to watch there. That's why I'd want to watch the home run derby.
I'm going to say one thing about the All-Star game. I think it's ridiculous. Major League Baseball made the Indians take make the Indians get rid of that Chief Wahoo logo. I mean, that logo was the best in
Yeah,
baseball.
I know, and now
As a part Native American myself, I just think it's unfortunate.
it is the best logo in sports. Plus, it'll always be the Jake to me. It'll never be Progressive Field. It's always going to be the Jake.
Yes.
They should have that All-Star game, the whole All-Star festivities, just be a throwback to just
2005.
Just all about Chief Wahoo and the Jake, and bring back Grady Sizemore and Travis Hafner.
And have Cliff Lee start.
And yes, because everyone loved those Indians right there.
Grady Sizemore, that's a guy who was supposed to be the next superstar, but he could not stay on the field.
And speaking of Indians, I guess we'll announce it now. It'll be up on on Stats Swipe page too. Major League officially the winner of the movie bracket, knocking off Moneyball and then knocking off Field of Dreams.
No comment.
It's a Milwaukee bias, I feel. I think the fact it has Bob Uecker and filmed at County Stadium kind of gave it a win in
Moneyball's better movie. Granted, I'm also a lot younger than when that movie was even came out. That was way before my time. But Moneyball's such a great movie. But
yeah, I think Moneyball is the best movie of all time. I think it's better than The Shawshank Redemption and some of those non-baseball movies. But I guess the people have spoken, and Major League is the win. Funny movie. I love that movie.
No, yeah, it's a good movie, definitely. And we appreciate everyone voting for that. I know it got a lot of attention and positive attention. Any ideas on another bracket type?
There's some ideas in the mix, yeah.
So stay tuned for that at statswipe.com. And I think that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of the 3 and 2 What's He Gonna Do podcast. I'm Dan Zielinski. He's Collin Kannenberg. We'll be back next week to talk more baseball. Thanks for listening.